How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and you join me in a little bit of a different setting here today. I am back at school and got some videos to shoot for you guys, but of course, setting's a little different. So today, going to be going over my PSA submission that I'm going to be sending off very shortly. I believe it's about 50 cards that I'm sending off. I think it's actually 50 exactly. So pretty excited to be sending these off. I've got my stack here of cards that I need to grade. You can see much bigger than the stack that I'm actually sending off. But I don't have the money to grade all of these cards. I think it's about 110 cards in total that I have that need to be graded, but right now we're only going to do 50. So without any further ado, let's get into these cards. This is my first PSA submission since I finished my large collection goal of of every PSA, every Japanese EX card set based in PSA 10. So this is quite the exciting submission for me. Moving on to some new things, and excited to share that with you guys. So first card going to be Empoleon Level X. So I actually pulled this card myself. Video's probably up on the channel somewhere. I actually think I went back and looked for it. But this is just a beautiful card. Really love the hollow pattern there. Maybe I can catch that in a little bit of the light. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so just got a beautiful hollow pattern, and these level X cards are really growing on me lately, just because, you know, it's so nice. Especially Diamond and Pearl. That set, you know, I mostly grew up with the EX series, but Diamond and Pearl, those early couple sets were also fairly big for me. So excited to have this card, really excited to pull it myself. Most of these cards I'm hoping for 10s on. There's really, and you know, I pack pulled this and it went straight into a sleeve and card protector. So really hoping for a 9 or a 10. Whatever this card grades, it's going to be great to have it encapsulated and graded. Second card here, got a Groudon EX from Crystal Guardians. I think I have quite a few English EX cards to send off. Not really sure if I'm going to be going after the whole set. That would be incredibly expensive. But really excited to be getting these English EX cards off to PSA. Groudon EX. And again, for most of these cards, I picked these out myself at Worlds from a full collection of EX era cards. So they had someone had sold a friend of mine, Old School Pokemon, every single EX card, and I went through and picked out the nicest ones. So got Crobat EX here from EX Deoxys. Next up, Rayquaza EX. This is a really nice card from EX Deoxys as well. I believe that was part of one of the decks, I think. Claydol EX from EX Power Keepers, and the price ranges on these EX cards are really a little crazy. You can have stuff like the Claydol and then the Shifter EX from Power Keepers. I think these are probably about maybe $60 in PSA 10. Really not that expensive, but still amazing. But then you've got stuff like coming up, we'll have cards that are several $100s in PSA 10. Got the Regirock EX from EX Emerald. So Emerald was a pretty interesting set and ended up being like a conglomeration of all the Japanese promos. So that was really cool. Emerald, an interesting set, and Regirock EX, a pretty nice card there. You can't really see what's going on there, but Regirock's there. Hikaru Koike artwork. Not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but has a very distinctive style and was used for a lot of these EX cards. As you can probably tell, the similarities between these two, you know, close-ups of a Pokemon, dark background, dark card artwork, and very sort of menacing. Used for a lot of these EX era cards. So Feraligatr EX here. Next up, Sceptile EX. This is a Delta Species EX card. I'm not 100. I believe this is the only Delta Species EX that wasn't in Dragon Frontiers, but I may be wrong on that. This is from Miracle Crystal, obviously. And these sets are sort of plagued by printing lines. You can kind of see there's the tiniest inkling of one on the set tile here, but I don't really... they can be a lot worse than what this is, so I'm still hoping for the 10 on this card. Got Manectric EX here, another one from EX Deoxys. I actually think this has... yeah, this has got some dots on the bottom, so that's probably a 9 or an 8. But still pretty happy with that. And also I think if you send in cards that are all, you know, perfect, the PSA guys, they'll throw some 9s and 8s in there just to sprinkle them in. I think we all know that by now. Blaziken EX, this one surprises me. The population is fairly low and one hasn't sold in quite a while. But it's still a beautiful, beautiful card. Again, that Hikaru Koike artwork with that very interesting background, very sort of surreal action, and then the Pokemon artwork there. Next up, Raikou EX. This is another absolutely beautiful. So many of these cards are beautiful. I love the way the hollow pattern follows the lightning bolt there, if you can see it. So it's not on Raikou, but on that lightning bolt, the hollow pattern flows through. So this is just amazing. And these E-Series cards with the large hollow borders, just amazing. Kyogre EX, I do already have this one in a 10. This is the only EX card that I ever pack pulled myself. The video's on the channel. Way back when I opened some Hidden Legends packs. But that one got a 10, but, you know, can't hurt to pick out another mint condition EX card. Again, looking really nice, so hoping that one comes back as a 10 as well. Next up, we got Salamence EX. Really love this card, especially in Japanese and in English too. The hollow pattern really pops. Trying to catch it a little bit in the light there. Yeah, we can see it a little bit. But that beautiful galaxy foil pattern just really works with this card. Next up, Venusaur EX from Fire Red Leaf Green. Another beautiful, beautiful card. Very iconic. Yeah, so this is when you're getting up into the $100, $150 range for EX cards. Next ones you'll be seeing are in the $200 range, if they do come back 10s. But, you know, as these are mint, most of them are mint. I'm hoping for mostly 9s and 10s here. Rocket Suicune EX, just a beautiful, beautiful card. The artwork here is amazing. Completing this set in Japanese was a major accomplishment. Super happy about it. But now it's time to see what dents I can make in English. Yeah, so this is just so beautiful. Love the way these Rocket EX cards are done, and they are rising in value fairly quickly. Next up, Rocket Scizor EX. Pretty nice. Again, that beautiful hollow pattern. Beautiful Hikaru Koike artwork, I believe. Yes, it is Hikaru Koike. Nice. Next up, Rocket Snorlax. This is one of those ones where like people list them on eBay for $600 and no one ever buys them. I think the actual price is around $200, but still would be nice for this to come back in a 10. These last two cards I picked up off of Alec Pokemon in a trade at Worlds as well, so will be interesting to see what these score. Hoping for 9s and above. Bayonet EX. That's from Hidden Legends, or I think no, can't be Hidden Legends. Legend Maker. There's so many Legends this and Legends that. Altaria EX. This is from EX Emerald. A fairly standard EX card, but still very nice. So that'll do it for the English EX cards. Next up, we got some newer cards here. Mewtwo EX from Psycho Drive, first edition full art. Beautiful, or not first edition, unlimited edition full art. Very, very nice. Really happy I was able to snag this card at Worlds. And we got the Skytree Shattered Hollow Rayquaza promo. This one, I had it in a 9. I sold the 9 and hoping to get it in a 10 this time, as Shiny Rayquaza, one of my favorite Pokemon. Great, great card. Next up, got an Alakazam Gold Star. So I think we're gonna have a run of shiny Pokemon here. This one has some issues. You probably can't see it on the camera, but there are some issues on the back. I would be expecting a 9 on this card. If it does get a 10, then so be it. That would be pretty nice, but I am expecting a 9 on this card, I think. But still, any Gold Star and a grade above, maybe an 8, is a amazing card. Next up, we got some Ultra Shiny. This is just a couple of cards from Ultra Shiny that I have. These have been graded so heavily, but I do want these just for my personal collection. Don't really want to sell them. So we got the Scizor, so beautiful here. Got the Darkrai. Really hoping this one comes back a 10. Just a beautiful, beautiful card. And we got the Mewtwo. So really hoping those Ultra Shiny cards come back 10. I do have the Greninja in a 10 already, and I have a bunch of other cards, including the regular sort of S cards that aren't just the GXs that I have to send off. Next up, we got the Test Tube Mewtwo from Shining Legends. Was able to pick this off of a Japanese card site, so really happy that this came in mint condition. And this is just one of the greatest artworks in the modern TCG, so I'm really hoping that this one comes back in the Gem Mint 10 grade. Next up, I have, I think, probably the only duplicate. I think these are the only duplicate. Every other card is, there's some variant of it, first edition or otherwise. But I have 4 CP6 Charizard Hollows. There's your thumbnail right there. Maybe I'll do a fan of the EXs or something. But I pulled these all from my CP6 booster boxes probably about 3 years ago when these came out, and I've just sort of been holding on to them until I realized that CP6 Charizards and PSA 10 are selling for about $60 a piece. So you add these up, that's what, $240 if all these come back 10s. So that'll be nice. Maybe I'll sell 2, keep 2, something like that, or just keep them all. But, just such iconic artwork, of course. Charizard, that base set Charizard artwork, that base set style for CP6. Such an amazing set. Next up, got some of the special art tag teams. The Latios and Latios, this is probably one of the best special art tag teams, I think. Maybe Umbreon and Darkrai might give it a run for its money, but this really kicked off the tag team era beautifully, and it's just so nice. So really hoping this comes back in a 10. Next up, we got the Marshadow Machamp special art tag team with that beautiful sunset artwork. I'm a big fan of sunset artworks in Pokemon. I think this one kind of has one as well, but I think it's much more apparent here. That beautiful pink, orange, even a bit of purple there, and then Marshadow and Machamp just sort of sitting to the side checking it out. Beautiful artwork. Next up, I have some Shining Legends cards. I pulled these probably several years ago, back when it came out, but I just haven't gotten around to grading them until now. So really hoping these all come back 10s. I did pull them myself. So we got the Volcanion, the Jirachi here, Genesect, and Rayquaza. Really happy that I was able to grab the Shining Rayquaza and pull it myself. It's always more fun to do that and then grade it, and hopefully it comes back a 10, and then it's just like perfect. Because you've got the full circle there. You pulled it, graded it yourself, and it came back a 10. Really exciting. So for the remainder of this submission, I believe it is all Delta Species Hollows. This is something that I've been going after sort of now that the EX series has passed me by and I have fully completed it. These are just beautiful, beautiful cards, and really hoping that these come back 10s. I've had good luck with them so far. So we got Milotic here, just that amazing fire type. Delta species really emphasizes the color of the Pokemon matching with the color of the card. So you've got the red of Milotic, which means it's a fire type. So these cards just, the continuity is so beautiful. And especially in Japanese, they have the gray border instead of the somewhat horrific yellow border in English. Next up, we got the water type Togetic here. This is unlimited edition. I think there's a first edition one in there somewhere as well. But very nice there. Next up, we got Armaldo Holo. Pretty nice. This one's from Holland Phantom, I believe. I think that was the first set to have Delta species. Or maybe, no, it was Delta species, obviously. But Holland Phantom came shortly after. There's another Sunset artwork, that Gyarados. I think this is one of the best artworks in the Pokemon TCG. And I'm still looking for this card in a 10. There's one up for bid right now. Maybe I'll grab that one. But if not, this one I hope will come back a 10. Next up, we got Rayquaza, another beautiful card from Delta species, and just some great artwork there. Really working well with the colors of the card and that sort of lightning storm going on in the background. Next up, Kingdra. Just great artwork, great card. Matches very well. I love the sort of fire that's coming off of Kingdra there. Some beautiful Masakazu Fukuda artwork there. Next up, Pidgeot from Holland Phantom again. More beautiful artwork, just amazing cards. These are sort of like, I feel like these are the WotC Holos of the 3rd generation, just in terms of the artwork style and quality. Got this amazing Tyranitar here. I mean, like, the Neo Tyranitar's are amazing, but look at this and tell me with a straight face that this isn't better than the Neo Tyranitars. Just amazing. And I don't know if you can really see it there, but we got Tyranitar in a lab, looking out the outside, in sort of like in the dome with all the equipment. It's just amazing. Fantastic Mitsuhiro Rita artwork. If I was ever going to get a card signed, this would be it. Next up, Crobat Holo. Maybe some less remarkable artwork, but still beautiful nonetheless. I think I already have this in a 10, but you can never have too many of these in 10s. Coming down the home stretch now, got another Togetic. This one's first edition. It's a little bit off center, but I think it still has a good shot at a 10, especially being first edition Dragon Frontiers. This is pretty good centering for first edition Dragon Frontiers. Next up, Salamence. I believe I have this in a 10 as well, but again, with cards like this, you can never have too many 10s. The second to last card that we are sending off is the Credilli Holo. Beautiful artwork. Again, the dark and metal type. Just beautiful. The moon in the background there in the top corner, if you can see that. And last but certainly not least, Mightyena to round out the submission. And that is going to do it. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully I will have the grades for these cards back in several months. I'm hoping they're back before the beginning of the summer, as I'm thinking maybe about, 4 to 6 months once they're off at PSA. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stick around for more videos.